It is Wednesday, right? Where is everybody? This is one of those lights I can't trip by myself. I need my group. Good morning, campers. Today we're going to talk about group rides. Despite COVID-19, there are still some group rides going on. So whether you are planning to go on a group ride, and this is going to be one of your first, or if you are planning to plan a group ride, I think that you will find this video helpful. So group rides, they are a lot of fun. There are some things though to keep in mind, especially if you are new to motorcycling. There are some things that you will need to know before you go on your group ride. And the first, whether you are planning to lead a ride or you are planning just to go on a ride, the first rule of group riding is...
The first rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
No, not that. We can talk about group rides, it's okay. I promise. The first rule when it comes to group rides is you always want to show up with a full tank of gas. That is because, number one, you don't know if the route is going to include a gas stop, depending on the length of the ride. Most rides normally go about 100 miles-ish before stopping for gas. So if you show up with half a tank, you're going to be pushing it. And the newer bikes, they will stop. The engine will cut off. You will be left stranded on the side of the road if the bike feels that it doesn't have enough gas. And that includes showing up on time. Generally, there will be a registration time or a meetup time. And then KSU stands for Kick Stands Up. And that's the time that the ride will generally leave the dealership or wherever the ride is starting out from. And before Kick Stands Up, they will go over a ride briefing that will generally cover the route that they intend to take, if there are going to be any gas stops, where those gas stops are going to be, what the hand signals are, and how they're going to ride. The majority of group rides will be in a staggered riding position. Now again, if you are new to motorcycling and you're not sure what that means, I'll show you. Here's a lovely little pic. The ride briefing will also include people that have usually pre-ridden the route. However, keep in mind, especially in the North Country, road construction is a thing, is a season. Any rough roads like that road that I just left, I would definitely, if I was planning on leading a group down that road, I would definitely mention, hey, by the way, this is going to be, there's some roads out there that are a little rough. So after the ride briefing, then they will generally, if you're not lined up already, tell you, how they're going to be leaving the parking lot, who's leading, who's riding sweep, blockers if there's any, and how you handle things like stop signs, stop lights, again, generally leading a group At a stop sign, I will try to make sure that the group has plenty of room to like move as one unit. So in other words, I come up to the stop sign, everybody else comes up to the stop sign behind me, we all leave together. But if it's a busy area, like not a back road but a state route, then that is again something you're going to have to consider for your group if you're leading a ride. So that pretty much covers before the group ride. Now again, during the group ride, you've already planned, you have enough gas, you already know that you're most likely going to be riding in a staggered formation. Well, that means that you need to be confident enough to ride in any part of the lane. You should be able to ride on this lane, or again, depending on where you are in the group, you might be riding on this side of the road, or lane I should say, on the right side of the lane versus in the middle of the road. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? I haven't had any coffee yet. I apologize. So if you are going on a group ride, you can try and plan, you know, where you're going to be if you prefer to be on the inside or on the outside. That's fine. However, I would highly suggest, if you're going to be worried about where you are on the lane, and if you're worried enough to be counting bikes, okay, it's left, it's right, left, right, left, okay, I go here. Then get out by yourself and practice your riding. And again, during the ride, as they most likely told you in the pre-ride briefing, they're either going to ride staggered formation, or if they get to a narrow enough road, or maybe it's a road with a lot of twisties, they might have you go down to single file. Oh, I forgot how pretty this road was. You also do not want to be looking around too terribly much, because you want to be riding in front of your bike, you know, which you should be doing anyways, whether you're riding solo or in a group. You always want to be riding at least 5-6 seconds ahead of your bike. It's something that fighter pilots do as well. They think ahead of the aircraft. They're planning out their moves, knowing which way they're going to go, and ready to adjust if necessary. That is very important to do in a group ride. So unless you are a passenger, you don't want to be like, oh look, it's a nice meadow, actually. And don't get fixated on the bike in front of you either. You don't want to be like, okay, I'm watching the bike in front of me, and then that's it. No, that's not going to bode well. And then you don't want to be showing off your mad rider skills either. A group ride is not a time to start popping wheelies. Just ride the ride. Have a nice, enjoyable time. And the last rule, I would say, I mean, it is a free country. You absolutely can do what you want. My personal rule, no alcohol. I don't care if I'm eating lunch, if I'm eating dinner. I'm not drinking alcohol until I get home or to the hotel or wherever, because you think you're a good judgment, you have good judgment. No, I'm fine. But the problem is alcohol starts to make that judgment faulty. So if you've been drinking and now your judgment is faulty, then you're not a good judge anymore. You've got enough things, like I just said, to worry about. Traffic, the other riders, your bike, the road, animals, weather. Thank you. That you don't need any sort of impairment going on. Last tip that I have, if you're going on a group ride, and again you're new to motorcycling, and this goes back to, you know, am I comfortable in this side of the lane, am I comfortable on that side of the lane? You want to also be comfortable enough to keep up to speed with the group. If it's a 55, and in the pre-ride briefing they said, well, you know, typically go 5 miles above the speed limit, and you're doing 40, they're doing 60 and you're doing 40. You know, again, get out there and go practice, practice, practice. Before going on that group ride, get comfortable with your bike, get comfortable being in a lane, get comfortable with controls. If you're leading the ride, then definitely keep an eye on the rear view mirror. You want to make sure that your bikes stay with you. You can slow down to let them catch up. Again, make sure and let the group know, okay, look, it's 55, but I'm probably going to be doing 60. Is everybody comfortable with that? And again, you've probably planned out the route that you're going to take. Make sure and write it at least a week before, if you can. Do it a few days before, so then that way hopefully there's not any big surprises on the route. And if you have a big group, again, you probably want to have somebody in the middle that is familiar with the route. If it is a large enough group ride, you might even consider asking your local sheriff or police department to block for you. And I think that's about it. I think I've covered everything. Oh, one thing. Again, if you are planning a group ride, you definitely want to check out your ride releases and any potential insurance coverage you may need. And now I think that's everything. And since it looks like it might rain today, I'm not going to park out front. I'm going to park under the cover, except there's somebody else there. So, if you like this video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up. Oh, let me turn down my music. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when we upload new stuff, be sure to hit that bell. Until the next time, everybody, my name's Dawn. I work here at FX Caprara Harley-Davidson, and we'll see you soon. And I'm fogging up.